I'm watching this lady who was one of my favorite people when I watched my favorite show with Lucius and Cookie. You know that TV show, Empire. So the secretary of Lucius, yeah, she's that from America, yeah, yeah. I don't know her name, but I just know that after watching her, I was like, okay, she's so genuine. I want to search her. So after searching her through that, then I got her interview story where she's regarded as black, fat, ugly. Yeah. So I listened to her and I picked something that made me just remember my own experience, my past, which by then, like she is saying, also made me realize that the things that you consider that are your weakness, and sometimes we even get to a point, like myself, I would get to a point I tell God, like, really, did you really have to do this to me? My point is, I really regarded myself so ugly because of how the society paint you or put you. So I was so ugly. According to her, she's saying she can't get over her beautiful face right now because her face can take all the shades so beautiful. But when she was growing up, the only thing I really want to ask her someday, maybe if I meet her, because I know I'll meet her someday, is that how many nights, because she's quite a number of decades old. So I want to ask her how many nights she had to cry because of societal, yeah, this, you know what I'm talking about. So she reminded me when I was growing up in my family, I'm the only petite, if I may call it. Back then, I would just say I am the only very dark and thin. So actually, it was called black thin um, sibling or child in my family. Now, it wasn't my family's fault, but you would always see how the society projected it. There was a time a boyfriend of my sister, my younger sister, who has like this low figure, was having an argument with her on phone, like those childhood boyfriends. And I decided to say, hey, you stop talking kwa chana na sister yangu, blah blah. So I got into it. And you know those skits that Kina Mamito make, they're like, okay, stop talking to my friend, or like Trisha, they're like making the petite lady versus the lady with figure, and it's always this petite one, the nyashless one, who is. So I decided that, and the man said, bitch, shut up, because you are not even the type that men should be arguing about. Let me talk to your sister. That aside, my own boyfriend back then once asked out of concern, because it's Kenya, it's a society, it's not their fault, that asked my sister that, your elder sister, who is I, is very nimkonde sana, like when I touch her nikimshika ananipotelea. Can you give us some tips on how at least to get some few nyash? I remember my own mom, I didn't take it offensive, but yes, I just a point to note. Whenever we would walk around, she would be telling people like, "Hey, nimefika na tuolonge nungone." Tuolonge nungone is just like I was used to be referred to as nyoka, okay, like a snake. Snake is very what. So what's my point? So this lady, I can't pronounce her name, but I love her. Yeah, you bet you know her. She says that now she's so happy because even with all the money, she grew up with money. Her mom was a celebrity. She could not buy this happiness. And now she just understands everybody is unhappy. Something that you don't know, everybody is going through something. Everybody is unhappy. She says she's never been unhappy because she doesn't have money, but she has been unhappy in other ways. And everybody in this world is very unhappy, going through something. So it made me realize just how much, though, we should look at it the other way. Let me tell you something, another hidden secret of mine. In my previous relationship, when a man asked me, kwani ulikuwa unataka kuwa the only wife up? That's why, I am very personal with Kenyan men, yeah? So when he asked if I think that I can qualify to be the only wife in his life, that made me realize, it's true, because how can you be the only wife without nyash? Yeah? So it made me get to a point. I told God, okay, God, it's not my fault that even my man is going out. That time I had that mentality, please. My man is going out because he's seeing nyash outside there, and I'm just black, thin, in this society. That's why whenever I come here in the internet and the people say, oh, babes, you're beautiful, I know deep inside the ladies with this kind of body are really, really struggling, because deep inside, when you go and sit down and just see the kind of nyash your men will love. That's not my point. Until I was around now in 2021, people started saying I'm beautiful. I only saw that as people being kind to me and not a reality. So imagine living your entire life with this, and a lot of people having this. You just live with very low self-esteem. It is just like being in very toxic relationship that when somebody starts something serious or real with you, you feel like it's a trap. That's the kind of life I was living. Until you got to a point now, things turned around, and something that I saw like a curse, I would even Google and watch videos how to even without naturally, I made it very natural, how to get nyash, how to increase my nyash, how to even gain weight. I was even like, I had my son when I was even at 6 months pregnant. I was still 48 kgs. Yeah, 6 months pregnant, so 48 is like I'm already carrying some, oh god. So until a point where my cousin sister says, you know what, I've been meeting these guys, and they're light. She's kind of light skinned, and then she has this body, the lower body, and the guy would be like, okay, you are very nice, but I bet you that if you can get me a lady, whom you just know, who is this kind and nice, but let her be dark, let her be petite, I'll really appreciate. My guys, that's when I started to realize, really? So then I shifted my mentality now to the other side. Say, oh, you know what? I'm not going to be the person who is like having other women because my man said that I cannot be the only. So I shifted now my mentality back to, okay, this part of the world, I am the ugliest, I am thin, I am nothing, I'm insignificant. A man can completely openly ask you, kwa nataka kuwa bibi peke yako? Na unaona ni kama unaweza qualify. And you are in their house and you have their kids or whatever, yeah? Into the world where a man finds a nice lady, but he's like, he prefers petite, confident, and whatever. That thing really boosted my confidence. I don't think that I used to look at the camera this way and talk. What would I talk about? And that even reminds me that I could not even face any camera without filters. I hardly use filters on my videos on YouTube. Never. That's not the point. So then I realized, this other side of the world, the Western world, we are the ones, sisi ndo kusemwa sasa, the petite black ones. So I shifted and then I realized, my sister, hata sio sasa type yao sana. Yeah, some like, petite whatever, but most petite, dark, whatever. That is why people are out here say, yeah, they only like the ugly, sijui wazungu wanapenda wako na types zao, yeah, the way they call it. But that's how the world is. Take your fears, take what you fear the most, take the things that you think that are a curse. Because for me, I was thinking this is like a curse, but why would God do this to me? Like, mimi si mtu wa roho mbaya. Why would God curse me and give me nothing? I even started working, I have my money, but siwezi nona. I'm a true example of somebody like you can call a foodie. I am an example of a foodie who cannot get fat. That I tell you for a fact. And then realized, see, we are the jackpot on the other side. So my point today was, did you know that the things you fear, just know everybody going through something. That's why I'm always trying to be nice, because everyone in one or the other, money wise, body problem was, whatever is going through shit. But did you know you can convert your fears, your sadness, the way a man treats you? The last live I felt very personal about, because a woman talking and you're like, yeah, my husband is saying this to me. And I can't even say anything, because deep inside I know, okay, you're talking about, for instance, an African or a Kenyan man who can bluntly just tell you, na hii sura yako utanifanyia nini, I know you are going nowhere, because your self-esteem is so low. You just think that you like 9 or even 50% getting married or relationship because they feel it's a favor, like this man is only favoring me, only to realize on the other end you are the jackpot. You are just that other person's type or the other world's type, and just overcome it. So if you in one or the other is going through what I'm talking about today, I was just here to encourage you. Have a lovely day.